Hello. We want to talk about Chapter 9. Our chapter is Early Adolescence, which is 12 to 18 years. First off, I want to kind of do an overview of puberty and how boys and girls experience it. I want to focus more so on some of the physical things, and then I want to move on to some eating disorders and then on to some depression as well. First, I want to talk about how early adolescence is marked by rapid physical changes, including a height spurt, maturation of the reproductive system, and appearance of secondary sex characteristics, which include muscle strength and redistribution of body weight. However, physical growth is not the only thing occurring here. The brain continues to grow as well and develop with changes that increase emotionality, modify memories, and improve connections among areas of the brain that regulate impulse control and judgment. Now, puberty, the term defines to the main brain development just mentioned, change in sexual maturation, cycles and levels of hormone production, and physical growth. Transition through puberty requires integration of biological, physiological, psychological, and social changes. Some of these physical changes are some examples of each. So physical changes, height spurt and growth of pubic hairs. Biological is change in behavior such as arousal or emotionality, and this is all associated with hormone production. Psychological could be just referring to age. For example, a 12-year-old entering into middle school, there's a school transition. As a 7th grader, there's a new status, a new sense of responsibilities, and more expectations of school performance. Social changes are cued by the way other people, including parents, teachers, and siblings, respond to how a child may be changing physically. Many of the changes are associated with timing, and whether these changes are perceived to be early on time or late in relation to their peers. So it's not just one event, it's what the book describes as a biopsychosocial transition that takes place in context of a child's culture and community. Further, the degree to which one's body matches the desired or socially valued body build of the culture influences social acceptance by peers and adults. So changes in body size and shape in puberty can bring advantages and disadvantages, depending completely on the context. Now I want to go into more like the physical side of changes. For girls, early evidence of puberty is usually breast bud development and the beginning of height spurt. On average, this is between 10 and 11 years old. Generally speaking, girls are more dissatisfied than boys with their physical appearance and their overall body image. And this reaches its peak around 13 to 15 years old. Possible reasoning behind this fact is the cultural, family, or community emphasis on a thin ideal, combined with the view that thinness can be achieved through effort, which can lead to body dissatisfaction among adolescent girls. The biggest concern girls have at this age time and what they express is that they think that they're too fat, and this concern can lead to peer rejection for both boys and girls. The book gives 3 different factors that lead to body dissatisfaction, 1 being the pressures to be thin, 2 being an internalized thin ideal body type, and 3 higher than average body mass. These factors can lead to negative emotions and unhealthy dieting. For girls, 2 most noticeable events of puberty are the development of the breast buds and the onset of the menstrual cycle, called the menarche. Development of breast is usually used as an indicator for parents to most likely begin a dialogue about puberty and what it entails. Most girls seem to react to menstruation with a mixed positive and negative feelings. Some of the positives reflect pride in maturing and the confirmation of their womanliness. Negatives, more so about the inconvenience, the unpleasant symptoms, and the possible embarrassment, as well as anxiety about talking about it. And boys, in comparison, physically to girls, generally welcome the changes involved with increased height and muscle mass. Testicular growth and the growth of the penis are some of the first signs of puberty in boys. The median age for this, and this is called spermarche, the sperm production, is about 14, which is 2 years later than the average age for girls. There are uncomfortable situations as well for boys during this period. Spontaneous ejaculation may lead to scaredness or embarrassment, and it's difficult for them to talk about it. Another area that has psychological meaning for boys is the development of secondary sex characteristics such as growth of facial and body hair. Um, some cultures, even growing a mustache is considered a form of masculinity, so it's kind of interesting to look at cultural aspects as well. So it's an important thing to note that